I thought I had made it. Manager, script, $1 million. The debt, 4 years of undergrad, 2 years of grad school, the move, the lean years, it was all worth it because my life had changed. Except that's not what happened. This is the story of how I threw away the biggest opportunity of my life, all because no one was watching. So let me back up a little bit. 2 years before that night, I had moved to Los Angeles from Atlanta. I left behind a career, a network, an awesome job teaching at the Georgia Film Academy, and I left it all behind for a fresh start and honestly for my girlfriend.
You on the boulevard to tell you love that I'm not too far from home, where I can hold you in my arms and play you songs on my old guitar. Oh, I'm glad that I found you.
Who believed in this version of me you're seeing right now before I ever did. That first year was lean. I'm not gonna lie. Shit was hard. I was rebuilding from zero in one of the hardest cities in the world to break into. But by 2023, something had shifted. I had built a new network from zero, and I was now working on music videos for Billie Eilish and Doja Cat and Nike commercials, Google commercials. I had designed an entire feature film. The ball was rolling. Now, it still wasn't the work that I wanted to do, but it was proof that I could do it, that I belonged here. And then through jujitsu, because it's always through jujitsu, I met a friend who introduced me to his manager. I sent him an early script plus a new one that we could develop together, and then 3 weeks of silence, then an email, come to the office. He signed me that day, and I remember sitting in my car in the parking lot thinking I had made it. The debt, 4 years of undergrad, 2 years of grad school, the move, the lean years, it was all worth it because my life had changed. Manager, script, $1 million. Except that's not how that works. What actually happened was revisions, more revisions, and then the strike.
More than 11,000 Hollywood film and TV writers are on strike.
Hey, ho, ho! Writers, make your favorite shows! Hey, hey!
If you were in the industry in 2023, you know what that felt like. Nobody was reading scripts, nobody was making deals. It was like the entire machine just paused. And here I was, working on a script every single day that I felt was just gonna end up in a void. Now, my writing partner, the same friend who had introduced us to our manager, he was a working WGA screenwriter, and he had been in the trenches with me for months, building this thing together. But he had his own projects. He had his own career to work on. And so the deal was, I would go away and write the first draft, and then we'd come back and edit it together. So one day it was just me. No writing partner, no momentum, a manager telling me to wait it out, an industry that was completely shut down, and a script that I felt was going nowhere. So I quit. I put the script down and I didn't go back to it for 3 years. I invested a lot of time, money, and energy into building this kit with all the tools and everything you need to work on set as a lead man or even as a production designer. I mean, everything from like saws and vacuum cleaners and even some T marks for, in case camera needs them or whatever the case might be. Stickers from production companies and prop houses and things. Let's see what else I have in here. Wood glue, lights, different kinds of fasteners, command strips. The entire film industry is held together by command strips. Batteries for different tools. I'm a Milwaukee guy, but even Ryobi tools. But I can't help but think, like, where would my life be today if I had dedicated even like half of the amount of time, effort, energy, and money into the things that I wanted to do instead of this? And I can tell you why I invested in this more than I did my writing or my directing or the YouTube channel. I invested in this because there was a return immediately. Everything else that I want to do is sort of a slower return. It's a slower return on, writing and directing spec commercials. It's a slower return on putting YouTube videos out into the void and hoping that, maybe you might find a community. So while this was an awesome return and on investment almost immediately, some things like YouTube or directing or, these sort of bigger goals that I have take a lot longer to get there. And that's okay. And what I'm learning and what I kind of figured out in January is that if you just keep stopping, you're never going to get there. So, what's wild about quitting something that you actually care about? You don't just stop. You have to convince yourself that you stopped for a reason. And that's what I did for 3 years. I told myself I didn't need the gatekeepers, that the industry was fake, it was built around ass kissers, and I was above needing the approval of other people to do my own thing. And some of that's true, parts of it. But deep down, under all the noise, I knew that what I had spent 6 years and $120,000 in student loan debt working toward was being a writer-director. I knew that. And I kept showing up every single day as a lead man, doing work that I was good at, work that I was proud of, but still feeling that thing sitting in the back of my chest. Unfinished. Then this January 2026, I woke up and I thought, nothing is going to change unless something changes. I was staring down another year of the same thing, waiting for my phone to ring, waiting for someone to hire me, feeling bad about the scripts that I hadn't written, feeling bad about my commercial directing reel that hadn't worked on at all, feeling bad about the YouTube channel that I said I was going to start. And I just thought, enough. So I picked up the phone and I reached out to my manager. We got right back to work on the script. That led to me wanting to continue working on my commercial directing reel, and that led to me wanting to continue making YouTube videos. And now we're pitching to major studios. That could have been happening 3 years ago. It would have been happening. But I needed an audience before I performed. And when that audience, or the chance at that audience, disappeared, so did I. But somewhere between January and now, it's currently April, I learned something that I wish I had learned a long time ago. The work doesn't start when the audience arrives. The audience arrives because you started the work. Now, I don't know how many people are going to watch this video. Maybe 10, maybe 10,000, who knows? The point is, I made it anyway. I finished it anyway, and I put it out there anyway. The script is done, the commercial reel is being built, and the YouTube videos are getting made. Nobody gave me a sign, and nobody showed up to save me. I just stopped waiting to do the thing that I've always wanted to do.